In the Ukrainian forest lives the Mavka, a spirit that has taken the form of a beautiful young woman. She does not hunt. She does not chase. She simply exists beside the water, beneath ancient trees, in the moonlight. Men who see her begin to forget everything else, their wives, their children, even their own names, and they follow her into the forest. They do not return. It is not her fault. It is simply her nature. In 1877, a girl was born in Kyiv. Her name was Maria. Kyiv, 1897. Count Tarnovsky married Maria O'Rourke, an Irish-Ukrainian aristocrat, widely considered the most beautiful woman of the season. Beauty in late 19th century Kyiv was a form of currency. Maria understood that better than anyone. She never looked as though she were trying. She simply entered a room, and the room stopped being what it had been before she arrived. Her husband saw all of it, and there was nothing he could do. No one who came close to her ever discovered what exactly one was supposed to do with a woman like that. Count Boresky fell in love with her instantly, and beyond repair. She encouraged him, then turned cold. She offered hope, and took it away, again and again. One evening, he took a pistol and shot himself in front of her. The servant who entered after the gunshot later said that the Countess was sitting beside the wounded man, watching him, not with horror, with curiosity. Boresky survived. He was the first man who got lucky, and the last who managed to leave on his own, while he still could. Lawyer Donat Prilikov was handled in a textbook manner. He came to take her divorce case, a smart, experienced man with a sharp legal mind. 4 years later, he had no practice, no family, no money, no sanity, only her. At the trial, they would ask him, "How did it happen?" He would answer, "Gradually. Each next step only seemed slightly worse than the previous one." He could not say where exactly he crossed the line. There was no line, only a gentle slope, very beautiful, very long. The scheme was elegant. Count Boznansky would take out a life insurance policy. Beneficiary, Maria. Then he would die. The payout would go to her. She did not coerce him. She simply asked. He simply agreed. The execution was assigned to Prilikov. Prilikov found Naumov, also naturally, in love with Maria. Naumov agreed to pull the trigger, also voluntarily. None of them were coerced. None of them were deceived in the legal sense of the word deception. This is what made the Tarnovskaya case the strangest criminal case of its era. Venice, autumn, 1907. Count Boznansky was staying at a hotel on the Grand Canal. A beautiful city. A beautiful view from the window. Nikolai Naumov came to see him that evening. They knew each other. Boznansky opened the door himself. The next day, the maid found the body. Naumov was arrested almost immediately. He made little effort to hide. Why hide, if she asked? October 19, 07. Italian police arrested Tarnovskaya in Venice. In prison, she behaved impeccably. She ate little, slept a lot, read French novels. She looked at the investigators with polite interest, as if they were a natural phenomenon, not people deciding her fate. Inspector Carlo Venturi wrote in his report, "The accused gives the impression of someone who is, at this moment, somewhat bored." He could not understand it. No one could. The press exploded. Newspapers across Europe printed her photographs. The vampire in a skirt, the beautiful poisoner, although there was no poison. The new Cleopatra, the woman who kills with a glance. The trial had not yet begun. The verdict had already been delivered by public opinion, and it was enthusiastic. Maria in prison read her newspapers. She subscribed to several publications. The investigators allowed it. They did not think to ask why she needed them. She studied her image, and apparently she adjusted it. March 1910, Venice Palace of Justice. Correspondents from 12 countries. A ticketed audience. The trial had become a social event. Women arrived in their finest dresses. Men with opera glasses. She entered in black with white lace, no jewelry. Her hair simply pinned up. The hall gasped. The prosecutor later admitted, "For the first time in my life, I could not look at the accused without effort." She knew it. She had always known it. At the trial, the survivors testified. Boresky, Count Tarnovsky, Prilukov, each one an educated, accomplished man. Each tried to explain to the court how it worked. None succeeded. Prilukov, a lawyer, a man of sharp intellect, said, "When she looked at you in a certain way, you understood that you would do whatever she asked, not because you were afraid, because no other option existed." Boresky added, "I saw that she was destroying me, and I could not leave. I tried. I could not." The court listened. The court did not understand. The court was not alone. At the trial, the main question was never asked. Why? Not out of greed. She had money. Not out of fear. No one threatened her. Not out of love. She did not love any of them. This was obvious to everyone. Psychiatrists wrote, "Mentally healthy, fully sane. The motives cannot be interpreted within known categories." Perhaps she simply wanted to know how far she could go. Each man, an experiment. Each victim, an answer. This one too? Yes, this one too. 8 years. Naumov, 3. Prilukov, 10. The hall was outraged. The audience, dressed in their finest, had expected either acquittal or execution. 8 years. A compromise that satisfied no one. Tarnovskaya stood as the sentence was read. She nodded once, calmly, as if she had been given a train schedule. No tears, no words. She turned, walked after the escort. The hall remained silent for several seconds. Then it began to murmur. No one could explain what exactly had caused that silence. 1915. Amnesty due to the war. Tarnovskaya was released early. What happened next is not reliably known. One version, France. One version, Ukraine. One version, she died in 1923 in Paris, alone, in a small room, unknown to anyone. No documents exist. None of the surviving men searched for her after their release, or did not speak of it publicly, which, however, does not mean that they did not think about it. Boresky survived. He left, lived quietly, sometimes read old newspapers with a familiar photograph, folded them, put them away. Prilukov was released from prison in 1918. Nothing else is known about him. No practice, no family, no address. Count Tarnovsky died in 1912, while she was still in prison. Cause of death in the records, heart failure. 5 men, different lives, one shared point in their biographies. In Ukrainian legend, The Mavka does not die. She simply returns to the water, to the old trees, waiting for the next one. She has no ill intent. She simply is what she is. The forest is not to blame for being a forest. Maria Tarnovskaya was a real person. She lived, read novels, fell ill and recovered. She was not a spirit. But 5 men who came close to her lost everything, and none of them ever said a single bad word about her. They only tried to explain, and could not explain.